Welcome to the RSP Boiler Room. I'm Matt Waldman with the Rookie Scouting Portfolio. We're going to take another look at Auburn running back Tank Bigsby. There's a lot I like about him, but this is a play that shows where he can improve and where he's going to have to improve if he wants to become a starting running back in the NFL. Because against Alabama, and yes, Alabama has a terrific defense and great athletes, but he's shown good work against Georgia, Ole Miss, against Penn State, other quality teams with strong defensive players who are going to be in the NFL one day. But what he's going to have to work on here is not declaring his position too early. And this is a case where he's got a double team with 52 and 58, 59 on the end here, and an unblocked safety in number 14. And he sees number 10, the linebacker, right here, work inside this gap where 56 is going to take him. He sees the flash of the linebacker, and instead of staying patient and trying to work towards that block of 58, towards that outside shoulder of 58, so he still has options with 58 and 59 to maybe attack this crease and get downhill and get the easy yards and get positive yards at the very least, even if it's a minimal gain to keep your offense on schedule. Instead of doing that, watch what he does. He flips his hips immediately and begins to accelerate to the outside against a force defender who's unblocked. And at this point, the advantage is to the safety. And that's what happens here is he gets wrapped up by the safety and dropped for a loss, puts his team behind schedule. The best runners it's not always about physical skills. And Tank Bigsby has decent physical skills, especially for the college game, but he's not a special runner in terms of elusiveness and agility. He flips his hips well, which makes him efficient. But part of your efficiency has to be decision making. So what should he do with this force defender right here? And he's got the linebacker coming through the middle. Well, the best thing he can do is instead of flipping the hips, he should just veer towards the outside shoulder of number 58, towards the 8. Stay towards that 8. That gives him enough room to avoid the linebacker if the linebacker comes through, and it allows this hole to stay tight. And it might draw number 14 inside to help out. And if he loses discipline, then when you get tight here, you can bounce it outside number 14 and maybe have a shot at that gain. Or as you work towards here, you give your lineman, your guard, and your tackle a chance to develop their blocks. And possibly right here, what that might do is it might allow him to bounce it a little bit just outside the end as opposed to all the way outside trying to outrun the safety. And he still might get a positive gain. So you have two options that he could have had other than bouncing it all the way outside. The third option is that maybe as he gets here, 58 is able to turn his man enough, or this end crashes in enough, doesn't crash in enough, and you have this open crease inside. And now you shoot through that crease, have minimal contact, and number 14 has to try and tackle you from the side. You might break that tackle and have a lot of open field between you and the high safety for a first down gain. But he shuts off all those options way too early. And this is the thing that a lot of running backs have to learn, no matter how promising they may appear in the college game. To be starters in the pro game, you really have to understand that you've got to press your crease within 1 to 2 steps of your linemen's backs. If you can get within a step of their backs and really press it tight, you're going to force the defense to lose discipline. And then when they lose discipline, that creates the openings for you to use your acceleration and change of direction. And he's got good hip turn here. He flips the hips well. He can be efficient with that. So maximize that ability to flip your hips by getting inside tighter, pressing tighter, forcing giving your linemen a chance to set up blocks and forcing defenders to lose discipline. And then you might be able to get positive gains that are bigger than 1 to 2 yards. But at worst, you get the gain of 1 to 2 yards by staying disciplined to what your scheme asks you to do rather than trying to freelance and bounce it way too far outside. This is where Bigsby can lose patience after several attempts where you only get 1 to 2 yard gains, and as a result of that, you end up getting losses, and that puts your offense behind schedule. So Bigsby, what we're going to want to see from him in the coming years, become a more patient runner in situations where he needs to press to 1 to 2 steps from the line of scrimmage rather as opposed to 2 to 3 or 3 to 4. If he can do that, then we're in business. We're looking at a guy who might be able to shot to be a high-end contributor in the NFL. Thanks again for watching. For more RSP Boiler Room videos, you can check out my YouTube channel, Matt Waldman's RSP Film Room, and my site, www.mattwaldmanrsp.com.